Hi everybody, and welcome back to Hex Token Channel. So in this video we're going to look at a basic staking in Hex. So we do a lot of market coverage in here and also coverage of Richard Hart and things like that. But let's have a look at some of the how-to videos and some of the bonuses you can actually get with staking. So here we are, we're on go.hex.com, and this is on the staking tab here. And we can do stakes on here, and it's pretty cool. So you can hook this up to your Metamask wallet. Way to go. There's also a staker app, of course, and you can do stakes through that. So that's another alternative. But here's a look at the mainstay. This was the first user interface for Hex on the ETH chain. And of course, this is also where they did the launch as well on the transfer page there. Also, they had referrals at the time and also Bitcoin claims at the beginning. So those all deprecated those tabs, but they were there at the beginning. Now, obviously, you can do transfers, and you can also look at key statistics on the Hex tab on here. We might have a little look at that at the end. But here we are on the stake tabs. This is where you go on the stake Hex. You just connect your MetaMask wallet, and away you go. All right, so you might have some liquid Hex available. This is just a demo account, so there's no Hex in here, but we're just going to show you the power of the staking bonuses. This is really important. So two components, that's all you need, is the amount of Hex that you're going to stake, and also the stake length in days. You're going to have the start date, and you're going to have the full last day and the end day. Right, it's the full last day of your stake. You can see up on the top right here, we're on day 695. And of course, you can see my video on the Hex ecosystem on day 694. That's also on this channel. We went and covered the ecosystem. Check it out. I do daily vids on that. We've got 19 hours and 43 minutes to go and 40 something seconds. And of course, that would be how long before your stake becomes live as well once you accept it. So here we are. We've got a nice simple example of 10,000 Hex. Let's say Hex is at 30 cents at the moment. So that's about $3,000 in investment, 10,000 Hex. And I've got here a 365 days, so that's a year. So that's typically what people think about. Of course, Hex is a bonuses for long term. But what we're going to do is we're going to check out some of the main features here. We've got stake bonuses, and in the stake bonuses, you get longer pays better. Obviously, the longer you stake, the better you get paid. So that is 20% as well. So pretty cool. Indeed, 2,000 for 1 year is 20% of 10,000. So you get 20% bonus per year. Pretty nice. And you get that up to 10 years. So let's just change this 365 to 3650. That's 10 years. You get 20,000. So that's amazing, right? That's amazing. So you start off with 10 and you're going to end up with 20. Pretty cool. So 20, and that will give you 30 at the top there. So 10 plus 20 is 30. So amazing, 200%, eh? Nice. And of course, that's maximum at 10 years. Now you can actually stake longer to 5,555 days or 15.2 years, but you don't get any extra longer pays better. But what you do is you get the share rate here gets locked in for that extra 5 years. So you get 10 years with the bonus here, and you lock in that share rate for another 5 years, so 15 years. That's why you get a lot of people staking between 10 and 15 years. That's where they get the maximum gains. All right, because this share rate here is just going up into the right, and one day it could be worth 50,000 Hex per D share, etc., etc. So you can see how it works. All right, so let's go back, and let's just pretend that we're going to do 10,000 Hex, and we're going to do a 2-day stake. You can see, well, let's do a 1-day stake. How about that? So we'll do a 1-day stake, and you can see that the amount of longer pays better is basically 0. You get a bigger pays better bonus, but that's quite small. You can see that. So really, the longer pays better bonus is the key. So the total amount of Hex that you get here for 1 day is 0. So you basically got 10,000 and 0.066 is what you'll be effective. Now you take that amount, of course, you divide it by the share rate, which is 90,109 Hex per T-share. Now this Hex share price is very special. It basically mimics compounding interest, and it makes it so that somebody in the future can't do better than you are today. It also stops people from doing short stakes, outbeating people with longer stakes through compound interest. So that's a really clever part of the share rate, and that's the special golden source inside of Hex. So if you take Hex price with this going up and to the right, and you take the longer pays better bonus, you can see that people want to get more bonuses, and of course the earlier they stake, the better. And those are the two things that make it really effective in the future. So some of the secret sauce there, and some of the huge fundamentals that have made Hex pretty much the best performing chart in the last 2 years. Obviously, the price of Hex does go up and down, and we've covered that in many videos. All right, so let's quickly check and play around with stuff for this. Let's go to 2 days. So we've got a T-share rate. So we take that 10,000, we divide it by 19,109. That equals 0.523. That's that simple. So Hex divided by the share price equals 0.523. That's how many T-shares you get. And of course, you get paid out in T shares, right? So T shares just means trillions of shares. Just a simple way is to say T shares. Let's jump over to the HEX page over here, and we can actually see that the price of a T shares just keeps going up and up and up because the price of HEX goes up and the T share rate goes up. Let's have a look. This is the payout that you're after. So you're after more T shares, you'll get the HEX payout. So you can actually see the payouts just been going up. And of course, now it's been going sideways, but we get these beautiful outliers where you get big penalties. On top of getting interest per day, you also get the penalties on top. So some beautiful payouts. The best payout here was way back here. And of course, that was huge. This one over here. I'm just trying to find that there. Let's have a look there. It's not coming up, but yeah, so here it is here, 12.899 HEX per T-share. Amazing. So that's the best result there. So you'll pretty much get about 5.75 HEX per T-share. That will change over time as the ecosystem changes with more stakers and things like that, but that's pretty cool. So let's take our example, 10,000 HEX, and let's move it up. Let's go from 2-day stake, and you can see that these variables will just change slightly. So when we did a 1-day stake, longer pays better was 0. We did 2 days. We did 2 days here. 2 days, then we start getting some longer pays better bonus. So nice. And this T-share will slowly increase. Let's say that we jump to 30 days and we'll do a 30-day. You can see now we're getting 159 HEX on top of our 10,000 HEX. And that gives us a total of 10,159. So we get the principal that we put in plus longer pays better. And that's our effective HEX. The effective HEX divided by the share price will give us the T-share. So the longer that we stake, the bigger the longer pays better bonus will be. And that's the main thing. That's the main thing of this video. The longer that you stake, the better. So let's do 365 day as well. People do monthly stakes. They do quarterly stakes, 6 monthly stakes. You can do yearly stakes, which is 365 days. And of course, that will be a 2,000. You'll get 20% bonus every year. So obviously, if we do the max bonus, which is 10 years, 3,650 days, that will give us 20,000. But of course, we want to lock in the share rate at that time, because otherwise, when it matures, the share rate will be super high by the time we get in 10 years in the future. So that could be 100,000 HEX per T-share or way higher. It's going to be much higher. Let's say that we we want to hold that share price. We go 5555. And of course, then we get the max share price for 10 years, and we keep the share rate for the next 5 years. That's 15 years. And of course, for 10,000 HEX, we're going to get 1.569 T shares. Beautiful. Let's just say that we want to stake for 365. That's 10 years. We'll still get the share rate, but once, of course, the stake matures, the HEX per T share will be way higher. So we would have to pay, we'd get far less by that time, even including all the interest that we make. So pretty incredible stuff. Now, the start date, of course, is going to be day 696. We're on day 695, which means that we have to wait 19 hours and 37 minutes. So if we click the stake button, it's going to bring up Metamask, and we're going to be able to confirm that stake. Of course, once we've confirmed it, it will show down the bottom here, and that will look really cool. You're going to have a start date and end date. So we've got the start date and end date here. So day on a 10-year stake, that'll be day 696, and ending on 4346. That's when you're going to be able to claim it back. It will have the progress bar, how far it's gone through, a little chart about the returns that you've been getting in interest. So if you've had big payday, if you were there on 19th November, you'd have a big, sharp, high price on the chart, and then it would be very flat because your daily interest compared to big payday would be very small. But if you had no big payday, then you'd get big spikes in your chart, and that's the way that would look. APY, of course, annual percentage yield, just showing you yield that got, shows yesterday and all for all. You'll have your principal amount, of course, which are pretty cool, this principal amount. Your T-shares, of course, the amount of T-shares you got, which is over here, the interest that you earn daily, and we looked at that on the HEX per T-share on this page here. And of course, you're going to have that accumulate on the your interest accumulate that you get paid every day. So the HEX per T-share you get paid every day accumulates as interest. And of course, if you did have an early big payday, if you've already done a stake, you'd have a big payday in there too. And then, of course, you're going to have your total HEX amount that you've got, including interest and big payday if you had it, and of course your corresponding USDC value. That's got a nice little helpful little help marks here too. Also, if you had some matured stakes, they'd show up on the stake history here. That's pretty much how the staking works there. So hopefully this has helped. 10,000 for 10 years. That's going to give you a maximum amount, of course. But if you want to hold the share rate, do 15 years at 5,505 days. So 10 years for 10,000, you get 1.56 T shares per today. So tomorrow, if this hex per T-share goes up, then you'll slowly get less T-shares. So the more you decide to delay it, the less T-shares you get. Now we know in hex, of course, everyone is trying to chase down T-shares that are long-term investors, because you get all of the bonuses here, and you get the hex per T-share payout, plus all the penalties that happen from time to time. So that's really amazing stuff. Awesome rewards. On top of that, of course, not only do you get all that volume and interest, but of course, if the price goes up, you get volume times price, and you make a pretty amazing return. So it's still early days in hex, coming up to the 2nd year anniversary on the 2nd of December 2021. Or officially launched on the 2nd of December 2019, and so only 2 years coming up, so still early days. And of course, a lot of people have staked for 10, 15 years. So that's the way they're going to get all those big bags, and it's going to be a lot of fun on the way there too. All right, hope you guys enjoyed that. Feel free to subscribe, like, and share. Hit the bell, of course, and look forward to many great how-to videos on hex and Pulse, of course. And I'll catch you in tomorrow's video with the daily update for day 695. Bye for now.